Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's Raw review and opinions video. So much to talk about. We've had over 95 responses, nearly 100 responses. We're not going to get through all of those, unfortunately, but we'll try and make a good dent. I have sorted them by which ones arrived the earliest, right? It's the fairest way to do it. So we will get to those. But I just want to round up, I think, my points that I made in the watch-along because my opinions haven't changed. I think the John Cena build is struggling. I think that last week I found myself wanting a bit more. I thought it was a very compelling segment last week, but I wanted to know why have you done it now, John? How long have you felt this way for? And why have you sold your soul to The Rock? They're not hard questions to answer, but I don't understand why we're not answering them. I didn't understand why we spent so long talking about how awful the fans had been, right? I understand we've got to touch on that. I think John Cena wants to get booed out the building, so I understand spending the time on that, but you couldn't have answered those other questions. You know, there is more than just why when it comes to this. There's also why now. There's also The Rock being involved. The other thing as well is that Cena could have turned at any point. The fact he's done it now that Cody is champion. You know, think of all the different champions we've had and all the different situations that John has been in. You know, now that Cody Rhodes, a friend of yours, is the champion, you now choose to go down this path. We haven't touched on any of that. All we've done for 2 shows now is just berate the crowds and say it's their fault. But I need more than that. And I think there's only 3 weeks until WrestleMania. I think we got 3 more shows. And I don't even know that Cena's on all of those. We know he's around next week. There is a rumor that The Rock was going to be on one of these European Raws, but then the rumor started coming around that maybe The Rock is now all of a sudden going to be busy, might not only miss the Raws, but might not make WrestleMania. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I don't know if that's just speculation, but this is what I'm seeing on the streets. And again, I don't know. We'll know better next week if The Rock is actually there and The Rock makes an appearance in London. But, you know, if The Rock can't make WrestleMania, maybe that's why we're not talking about him now. But I still feel like we should. Because there was still a gesture made by The Rock to John Cena. John Cena knew what that meant. So there's clearly been conversation between him and The Rock. You know, there's always a plan B type situation, right? So, you know, the fact that we've just been ignoring that is a real head scratcher. The other head scratcher is I really don't understand why Cody is not acting like this is more personal than just another feud. Cody's responses are always you know, let's go. You know, he's taking his shirt off, taking his tie off, putting the belt down. Let's go. This is your friend that you've known for decades that has turned on you, brutally beat you down at Elimination Chamber, and you have so quickly just moved on, and this is now just another feuds. I don't understand why he's not speaking to John directly, saying, this isn't you, John. I know you, John. Sharing a few stories of when they were on the road. I said during the watch-along, it could be stuff like, I was there, John. I was there when that guy that was down on his luck just needed a little bit of money so that he could get a journey to where he was going. And what did you do? You didn't just give him that little bit of money, but you gave him a contact number and you made sure he had some foods. And this isn't that John that I see before me now. I feel like there's so much that we could dig into. There's so much substance there. But this is just being kept ABC, 1, 2, 3. It's bare basics. And I don't know why they don't allow it to go deeper than that and for it to be more satisfying than just this very generically written feuds. So I find myself coming away from last week being a little bit, not frustrated, but like, didn't get everything out of that I wanted. And then you've pretty much just gone and served me the exact same thing this week. And as a result, those frustrations have massively grown. And if you do it again next week, WWE, those frustrations will only grow further. And I know I'm not alone with this. I know that people have got their own frustrations with the Cody and Cena situation. The only thing I would say is nothing's ruined. It's not like we can't pull the nose up here. Like, we absolutely can. And I'm sure the match is still going to deliver. And I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of bells and whistles, and it's going to be really fun when we get to WrestleMania. But we're just focusing on the build at the moment, and the build's just not sitting right with me, right? And the reason why we're spending so long on that is because this is the major talking point on the show. I mean, after this, we had Usos against A-Town Down Under. Very surprised that Joe Hendry wasn't the partner. It turned out to be Jimmy. Match was okay. I think we were still trying to digest what we had seen from Cena. You lot scored that good 92. Obviously, they have Jay slip over, make it seem like an error so that they can do that heart-to-heart backstage talk later, set up Gunther versus Jimmy. All makes sense. Nothing revolutionary there. I don't know how I feel about them using last week's botch, because I believe last week's botch was legitimate. I sort of feel like, is it best to just leave that and not really use it as story? But they've decided to use it as story. I've got to think ultimately Jay's going to get the win. Jay's talking about how he's 3-0 against Gunther. He doesn't think he can do it. He's doubting himself. I'll be shocked if Jay doesn't win at WrestleMania. Then we had Lyra against Raquel. I enjoyed this. You lot said it was good 93. Good win this for Lyra. Obviously, she gets attacked after Bayley comes down. We're definitely setting up Lyra Bayley. I did wonder if we might get that before WrestleMania, and then maybe Roxanne interferes, and then we get Bayley Roxanne at maybe Stand and Deliver. But I don't know there. I don't know if we're going to be able to fit all that in within that time frame. But the Roxanne Bayley thing seems to have been dropped at the moment. So, yeah, we'll have to see what's next for that. El Grande against Dragon Lee. I really like the El Grande thing, but a few people suggesting that it might be a little bit racist online. I don't think it is. I mean, I did not look at that and see. I just didn't look at that and think that it was. Maybe it played into some stereotypes, but I certainly don't think there was any, nasty intentions behind it. So. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I thought that little video package was good. I thought this match was the match of the night by an absolute mile as well. So El Grande against Dragon Lee, good 94. Penta against Bron in our main event. It was okay. You lot said it was good 84. You didn't really enjoy it, but I think massively ruined by the Judgment Day interfering at the end. Penta was never going to join them. So, of course, he turns them down. They then beat him up. That's the end of the show. This thing clocks in about 2 hours 25. One thing I will say is nothing here really felt like it outstayed its welcome. This show feels like it went for about an hour and a half, not 2.5. So, I'm giving it props for that. There's little bits in here that I enjoyed. The promo had its moments. John Cena saying, "I'm going to ruin wrestling" was kind of like, sorry, what? Hang on, sorry, what? I'm going to ruin it for you. I'm going to ruin it for the wrestlers. I sort of feel like anything John Cena can think of saying to, really upset people, he's going to say it. He will say it. Because I think he's just trying to get everyone hating on him as a gift, a parting gift to his friend Cody Rhodes. So, Cody's going to get all the heat. He's going to get everyone hating him so that everyone gets behind the new champ, Cody. So, this is a hard one to score. I'm thinking about a 5.5, maybe a 5.75. I don't think this was a disaster genuinely, because I really like CM Punk's promo. The Cena segment, for however long it was on for, a bit shorter this week, was compelling, right? Didn't know what was going to happen, what was going to be said. You're hanging on every word. Lyra match, I enjoyed. El Grande match, I enjoyed. Usos being reunited for the first time in a few years was unexpected. It's kind of cool to see, but I don't know. I'm not a big Joe Hendry fan, but I was so adamant that was going to be Joe Hendry. I actually feel sorry for people that really wanted it to be Joe Hendry. So, yeah, I'm thinking 5.5, 5.75, somewhat along those lines. I think Glasgow came across well, but probably below what we've heard in the other places. And well below, like Spain and Belgium were crazy. Italy were really good. I think the general consensus is that Glasgow didn't come across on those levels. But yeah, you know, that was Raw. It is what it is. Considering there wasn't loads of talking points, I've still been able to talk for 11 minutes. But let's get to your thoughts, because I really want to get through as many of these as we can. So, F Dominic Mysterio for messing up that match, the main event. Chad is so wrong for pulling Dragon Lee's mask off, says Sarcasm Human. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He did pull at the mask. That allowed him to get the ankle lock on and pick up the victory. If it is Chad. Liam said Cena will win at WrestleMania. This is Luke versus Vader in the Empire Strikes Back. Cena works for The Rock now, but by the end of his career, we'll have a Return of the Jedi moment when Cena turns on The Rock to save Cody and redeem himself, retiring as a face. Jordan said Jimmy being involved now in the story is going to help a bit, since he's noticed Jay being a laughingstock and has not been himself lately. And I'm glad that he was the mystery tag partner. To add more fuel, add Rikishi to the mix. So, Jordan, shout out to you. Curtis said it was a poor show, to be honest, and it felt very boring. Lawrence gives it a 7. Says the main segments feel like they are repeats from previous weeks. However, I enjoyed the show overall. Up Alert said, honestly, it was horrible. All of it. It did not make sense. The segments were bad. Even the Punk segment. 1.3. The show actually sucked. It was the worst Raw of the year so far. Liam said, hear me out. Roman Reigns versus Punk versus Seth. Winner gets added to the Cody Cena match, says Liam. Yeah, I mean, I'm not crazy about that because I'm not someone that looks for triple threats, to be honest. I mean, if Punk wins and gets added to night 2, we know that he and Cody are actually like really good friends. I sort of feel like, why can't he win and get added to Jay Gunther? You know, why does he have to get added to the Cody match? He's good friends with Cody. I think he's really good friends with Jay as well, though. So either match he would end up screwing over a friend, really, because if he gets added to Jay's match, that's going to make it harder for Jay. If he gets added to Cody's match, he's only making it harder for Cody. I sort of feel like Cody has got enough on his plate, so why can't we just have the winner of night 1 face the champion at Backlash? Like, I much prefer that. Let Cody get past Cena. I mean, that's a big enough obstacle in itself. Certainly if he's going to have to deal with The Rock on the outside as well, then let him get past Cena, and then the winner of night 1 gets the next shot at Backlash. I personally would go that way. I don't feel a need to have like that main event of Cena and Cody turned into a triple threat. But I can't say they're not going to do that. You know, they absolutely could do that. But at the moment, there is no stipulation. There is no like prize, if you will, apart from bragging rights, gloating for whoever wins night 1. But CM Punk did make a very interesting comment. He was like, I'm going to read the fine print and make sure that what I want is in there. So could it be something like that? I think he wants the main event of night one. I wonder if the fine print has got it actually in there that this closes the show night one, and that's what he's looking for. So, yeah, something to chew over in regards to that. Brendan, shout out to you, but Wrestling Junkie said Raw was okay. People are very negative in the chat. It wasn't bad at all. Compared to SmackDown, it was great. I wasn't bored once. SmackDown, I just can't keep my eyes open. Finley said, I thought it was appalling to say that it's 3 weeks before Mania. The show was not enjoyable or exciting. The Cena segment didn't really progress the story any further. And the ending to the Penta match was underwhelming, disappointing, and strange. So Finley gives it a 4. Heel Josh says it was mid as fudge. Heel Josh, shout out to you. Joey said, it's really weird watching it in the afternoon. I also didn't realise that it was over. Timmy said it was okay. I really like the El Grande match. And that's about it, really, for me. Raw gets a 5. Jennifer said it was a poor show tonight. It was mid-card at best. Cena heel is terrible. He was awful. Great One said, this show got on my nerves because I was expecting more for WrestleMania season. I'm starting to dislike the one-dimensional Yeet J, and the spark is missing. Cena's segment was flat, and Cody needs work sounding real. Your rant during the pre-show is how I feel. Great One, shout out to you. Josh, the greatest one, said they should never, ever, ever do an overseas tour on a road to WrestleMania ever again. It's been awful. There really is no story progression. There's just a bunch of matches thrown together. The road to WrestleMania has been awful so far. Stonewall said, I can't watch because Netflix not letting people share accounts anymore. They did crack down on that, didn't they? Sinister File said, I missed it due to being at work. I'm not sure what's happened, but apparently I didn't miss much as usual. I don't know, maybe it's me, but the WrestleMania build this year has been pretty lackluster so far. Seems like they better do something to pick up the hype train soon, because time is running out. Chris said it was one of the best shows so far, so Chris really enjoyed it. Phoenix Maximus said, why did Cena turn? They can't answer it, or what The Rock has to do with it. He won the chamber, he got his match at Mania, and then he turned. It still makes no sense. I agree. This is why we're so desperate for that answer. I mean, the question was why? Why, John, why? And he said it was because of the fans. But the thing is, that doesn't answer really. It only provokes like another question, which is, okay, well, if it was because of the fans, why now? You know, the fans have been on your back for decades. And actually now the fans are united behind him more than ever. Really, why now? So, yeah, we're still kind of scratching our heads. And the only thing that people can keep saying is, well, just wait next week. You know, we've got another segment, but that's 2 segments now. And I'm not feeling massively confident we get the answer next week. Just Another James said it was whack. Bean said it was mid. Elizabeth said it was entertaining. Nita Nitro said in person it was amazing. Our dart match might actually make it must attend, though. Punk, Cody, and Ray versus Judgment Day. Yeah, I saw a picture of that. Look good. It's Kaz said 4 out of 10. I really wanted Cena to explain why he turned, but all we got was a remix of last week. Punk promo was great. Lots of video promos to fill time. Main event ending in DQ. As a Road to WrestleMania 41 show, I was more disappointed than anything. But anywho, roll on next week. It's Kaz, shout out to you, my friends. Nita Nitro. I hope you had a great time, buds. John said, bet it sucked. Hockey time. Well, it did suck, yes, actually, John. Sounds like someone's got a case of the Mondays. It was Monday. Josh, the greatest one, said, one positive, though I do think they should do shows at this time going forward. It is much better. Freddie said, I just want to ask one thing. Are we on the road to WrestleMania? Because it ain't feeling that way. Eric's like, Chris was like, Stewie said, it was great up until the Lucha Gable match, and then it just went downhill. That main event sucked. March says, 8 out of 10. Raw was good tonight, but we need a promo battle between Cody and Cena. Hopefully, next week in London, we get it. The Vento Boxed said the lackluster Cena segment derailed the show for me for the most part. It was just an okay show in my opinion, unfortunately. Jeremy says, 6. I mean, is it Road to WrestleMania worthy? I don't like what they're doing to Jay. 2 weeks after the heel turn of the century, and the promos are lackluster. And I'm sorry, the Gable Grande Americano hasn't worked for me. Braun and Penta was great match till Judgment Day. Jeremy, shout out to you. Elite Pro Wrestling Forum said their Def Cooking still needs to come up a notch, but this is expected in a year where WrestleMania is coming later than ever in its history. So 7.5 days. Can we get a what up, though, for Philly? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. What up, though? Philly, if you're watching, what up, though? Yeah? You're welcome. Brady said, 5, nothing on the show other than the opening felt rewatchable. It doesn't feel like we're on the road to WrestleMania. I have a feeling that Triple H is waiting until the European tour is over to properly build the road to WrestleMania. Sam is the CTE king, said Cena carry job. So Cena carried the show. Richard said, I hope that Zoe Stark will join. Forgot about her. Anyone else forget about Zoe Stark? Shayna Baszler. Caden and Katana. Oh yeah, all these people are exist. I hope that Zoe Stark will join Judgment Day to turn on Shayna Baszler, said Richard. Chris said, hello, Daze. Not too bad of a show, 6.5. A few things to talk about. The only issues I have, I thought we were on the road to WrestleMania, but maybe I'm missing something. I didn't mind the Cena promo. I just think it was pretty much the same thing as last week. On to NXT. Chris, I hope you're doing well, buds. Ryder said it was an easy watch that had its moments, but they've been treading water with the build to WrestleMania because these shows are very safely booked with no risks. There's no urgency as far as getting people excited for WrestleMania, and that's just weeks away. There is a lack of meat on the bone. I agree. Wrestling fans since day one said I would rate the show a 5.35 out of 10. Wasn't the best, but I would have given it a 6 if there hadn't been any interference during the main event. I really wish we had a clear winner instead of that BS ending. Good night, Days. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, my friends. Wrestling Figs Ireland is asleep. Sleep well, my friend. Dean Parker said, Raw was okay. Not a lot of talking points. I was disappointed that Big Jim was Jay's partner because I really thought it was going to be Joe Hendry this year. WrestleMania's build has been very bad. Love the stream, though, and I'll see you tomorrow for the best show, NXT. Henry said, it was the worst show of Raw on Netflix. BS ending. BS show. Wasn't Road to WrestleMania worthy at all. Fans were okay for some part, but no one's going to be louder than France, Spain, and Belgium. Next week better be a great show. And maybe Rock, Cody, Cena back and forth. We hope. Daniel said, it just feels very bland considering we're only a few weeks away from Mania. Cena, Cody was basically a repeat of last week. Punk is just advertising SmackDown. Ripley, Sky, Belair is basically the same thing every week. The only thing I really enjoyed was the Gable Luchador stuff. Blue Will Smith gives it an E. DJ Jackie Boy said it sucked. Raymond said, hello, Days. I thought Raw tonight was good. Matches were great, and the Cena Cody promo was fire. To say the least, I'm going to rate it a 9.5. See you tomorrow for NXT. See you tomorrow, buds. Steve said it was boring. It was lazy. It was lackluster. It was too safe. I like that. Too safe. Mitchell said, I really enjoyed the opening segment and the Grande Americano segment. Get well soon, chads. I'm thinking about a 625 range. Rest of the show didn't quite do it for me. Mitchell, shout out to you, buds. Just, I think you're a touch higher than me this time. Ring Rebel said Raw was good. The Cena promo left a little bit of rinse and repeat. Penta should have won the Intercontinental Championship. Will Lyra ever lose her Intercontinental Championship? Nope. Overall, 6.7. No, we'll be here in 30 years and she will still be champion. Sebastian said Jey Uso sucks. Where was Joe Hendry? And the show lacks something to get us talking. 5 out of 10. Fair. J14 said Raw felt lackluster. Cena's promo repeated last week's points, adding nothing new. Punk's promo was the complete opposite of Cena's and was great. Lyra versus Raquel delivered, but lacked storyline progression for her IC title reign. Main event wasn't bad, but an underwhelming finish. Las Vegas Matt said, I hate that they ruined that main event. I also have this memory of Owen Hart as the Blue Blazer that makes this Grande Americano storyline not sit well with me. I thought it was too much talking, not enough wrestling tonight. I am excited for Jimmy Gunther next week, though, so 7 out of 10, says Las Vegas Matt. Las Vegas Matt, shout out to you, buds. King Kong Chaplin said main storylines have been copy and paste whilst on this tour. We need more from Cena too. Jimmy Rabbit said, just not a fan of the I hate the fans, you never had my back angle. Coming from such a big babyface, it's played out, stale, unoriginal, and lazy, but they seem to be doubling down on it. Mike D said, another underwhelming Cody promo. Please drop the title. Tribal Reign said, you missed the did part. I missed the did part. Kim said, it is like WWE quit trying to make the great storytelling anymore. There was no creative at all. I found the whole short show a bit lazy booking, so it's a 2 out of 10 for me. That's a shame. It's a shame that it was that low for you, buds. It's a shame it was that low. I can sort of understand. I mean, this just felt very safe, tight, ticked boxes, didn't rock the boat, nothing revolutionary. I mean, even the mystery partner just turned out to be Jay's twin brother. It was very safe. I do like that comment from earlier. Angel said, this does not feel like the road to WrestleMania. Where are the wow moments that make you want to see WrestleMania? The show felt dull, slow, and it didn't have a clear objective. Sad. Kiki gives it a 6 out of 7, so that strikes me as being quite high. J Omega said it was all right, but definitely lackluster for an episode on the road to WrestleMania. But it's always great to see Penta, especially his first Raw main event, so 6. Alfie said Raw wasn't great, but the Cena promo was good. And Le Grande Americano I liked, but the rest wasn't great in my opinion. John said, I think the El Grande Americano storyline is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous because what? He got a number from Dominic, went to a place, met a guy, got a box, came back, and is now wearing a lucha mask and, like, now he is beating luchas. Like, I mean, granted, he didn't really. He did a bit of cheating. But, yeah, I mean, I like the whole, is it Chad? Is it not Chad? I mean, I'm 90-odd% certain it is Chad, but I like that bit. I like the name. I like the backstory, like the video package, the way it was presented. Like, there's lots of parts of it that I do, like, go, yeah, that's pretty fun. It's just a bit of a throwaway mid-card story. It's pretty crazy, but at least it's creative. At least it's creative. But it doesn't make sense at the moment. Like, What did Dominic give him? Just the number to someone that makes masks. Was that it? So, yeah, I don't disagree there. I mean, but we can save it still. I feel like it's savable. The last match was good, setting things up for a Judgment Day breakup. But this has been going on too long already. Just do it already. Like the build-up in the women's division, the promos to start were fire, but too open. John, shout out to you. Austin said, sorry, but it was bad. Cena with another nothing promo. Fun main event match, and I get the DQ, but that part was flat. Lyra needs a story in her reign rather than nothing matches. Everything was forgettable, disappointing or boring. Chad, El Grande, Punk saved it, but a 5. Desolation said, I forgot it was afternoon. I'm on the East Coast. Well, it's on Netflix. You can watch it whenever, my friend. It's up now. Robbie said it was okay. Cena's segment was decent, but was similar to last week. We needed a lot more answers, and I want to see a brawl too. It was great to see the Usos back together. Lyra versus Raquel was good. Punk segment was decent. Main event ending to the show just didn't do it for me, though, says Robbie. Dylan said, great show. Love the Cena promo. I'm still on Cena's side, even if he doesn't like us anymore. And I thought it was slightly better than last week as Raw as a whole. Love seeing the Usos back together. Amazing finish of the match was great. Dylan, shout out to you. J Beans, shout out to you. Yep. Little mouse chewing on a little treat there. Little slither of food, and that is how it felt to me, Raw this week. Not lots of wow moments, not lots to get your teeth into, lots of just little bit of meat on the bone here. John Elite said, same Cena Cody promo as last week. Love to see the Usos reunite again tonight. Really hope they use the Usos theme again one day. I still think it's going to be a triple threat when it comes to Io, Bianca, and Rhea. Punk taking shots at AEW. Judgment Day still together after Mania, ? Savage Rider said, worst Raw on Netflix. Punk was honestly the biggest star on the show aside from Cena and Cody, who are still just talking and not getting physical. Isn't this Mania season? It was a 4 out of 10 show. Storylines not moving at all. Clip show, to be honest, says Savage Raider. Real John said, the show wasn't bad, but I didn't understand the Bianca Io Rhea segment at all. Having Bianca as a guest referee next week. Oh, that was ridiculous. In my opinion, it's more so building towards the triple threat. The match is obviously going to end in a DQ, so you should have just announced the triple threat. Yeah. Nico said it was okay. Not every episode is going to be a banger, but it will pick up with the last 2 weeks till Mania. I hope anyway, says Nico. I'm right in that boat with you, buds. Matthew said, I thought that the show was good and I thought Joe Hendry would show up, but the interaction between Cena and Cody was cinema. The Wrestling God said, I'm going to score Monday Night Raw booty juice, just like Friday Night Booty Juice. Friday Night Booty Juice. Uncle Revel said, was great from top to bottom. Cena Cody Part 2 was chilling. The matches were all entertaining, but Dragon Lee versus Americano stole the show. Punk's promo was better than Seth's last week. Main event DQ was expected. Hoping this rebuild of Judgment Day finally leads to them versus the Wyatts. So a 775 from Uncle Revel. Lex F1, hello, buds. Hope you're good, and you. Underwhelming Raw, I'm going to go 6. Cena was good, but everything else just okay. Jay Gunther development was good today. Clever to play on the slip. If Gunther takes out Jimmy bad, it could really spark this feud. That's a really good point. If Jimmy is absolutely brutalized, left like a bloody mess, like Jay could now want to really, not just beat Gunther for the title, not just beat Gunther to kind of show that he can do it, but to do it for his brother. That could be a part of this as well. It's a good point, that. Let's do these last two, and then we'll call it time. So, We Are the Woe movement said, can someone explain how we had a Raw in Scotland and not a single Scottish person was on the show? I think there was a lot of Scottish people in the crowds. They were technically on the show, so... But yeah, I get you. What? The show wasn't terrible, but it was definitely disappointing. I can't even decide on a proper score, so I'm going to go safe and give it a 5. It's Ryan said, honestly, a boring showcase of international shows so far. Everything feels so similar every week, and that's not what we need at all. For WrestleMania season, everything feels lackluster. I was originally going to go to this Raw as it was in the UK, but I'm glad I didn't, said It's Ryan. I'm doing a couple more. Kat said, Daze, I think this Raw was 6.5. Cena's heel turn is getting played out quick to me. I love how Big Jim came through and added some more excitement to Jay's story. I'm rooting for Yeet Mania all the way. Well, I think your guy's going to do it, Kat, to be honest, buds. I think he's going to get it done. Justin said, Raw was great, but F. Adam Pearce is the worst GM. Matt said it was mid, not interesting at all, and not must-see. Jamie said, no, it doesn't feel like WrestleMania season now, Triple H. Kev said, with being there live, oh, this will be a good one to end on, because Kev was there. It was an okay show. Again, I'm not sure if they dull down things for Europe shows, but it felt like a house show. Some great moments and the place was bouncing for Jey Uso. Also, seeing Penta live was the highlight of my night. So 7 from Kev, and Kev was actually there. So that's a really interesting comment. So, you know, to actually be there, be in the room, the atmosphere, the excitement, seeing the Cena promo live. Kev experienced all of that, gave it a 7. So that's very interesting. Jim thought it was the best Raw of the year. And Vugi, I am definitely ending here. Vugi said, I was at SmackDown and Clash last year and there tonight. The energy was sucked out tonight in a hurry. Was nothing to get excited about. I really enjoyed the Gable match, but the rest of it was... What? Are we just hitting now the bit where everyone's like, I was there. I want to do a few more. Vugi, that's really interesting. Right, WWE and AEW fans said, good show. Cena Cody face-off was kind of the same last week, but it's fine. Usos against A-Town Down Under was okay. I think Jay botched on purpose, yes. The Punk promo was good. Bron versus Penta was great. Kind of peeved that the Judgment Day got involved, but it's fine, I guess, says WWE and AEW fan. Peter Pod said it was a little bit boring. Tannen said, decent show. I expect things to pick up now until WrestleMania. TJ said they shouldn't have started with Cena. Jennifer said, lackluster, mid, no effort, not enough. Personally, I find it upsetting that WrestleMania is in less than a month. And it's as if WWE is only starting their builds. And most of the roster has nothing built up at all. It's like WWE didn't know their own schedule ahead of time. Ah! I don't know how many. Oh, we've still got quite a few, haven't we? I thought, like, oh, are we near the top? How many is... Oh, we are near the top. So that was Jennifer. We've only got this left. Oh, we'll finish this off. I was going to end on... Craig said 5 out of 10. Hopefully they are saving the best stuff for the final shows in America to jumpstart the road to WrestleMania, because so far it feels like we've been stuck in a major traffic jam or major pileup on the highway, unable to drive down the road. Quite the image. Dean said the opening segment was all right. I can't say I hate how John is doing it. I think there's something there. Lyra taking the win is money. Glad the Usos haven't really lost a step. Best match was Penta and Bron. Despite the Judgment Day, I want to see Penta Finn feud. So 7, says Dean. B-Tron said it was good, but just seemed really off for whatever reason. Cena and Cody was cool, but felt the same thing from last week. Hope they can ramp it up a bit next week. like I said, everything felt off a bit. And Howdy said it was mid. Alexa didn't come out and attack Liv Morgan. That was a missed opportunity. Overall, 5 out of 10. But man, that slap was personal. And did you see that Jey Uso was crying whilst Jimmy was talking to him? He just doesn't think he can do it. He's doubting on himself, but I think he's going to do it. And I'm sure many of you do as well. So this is where we are. How did last week do? So last week was great, 78. That's what last week did. This week, well, all time. I don't know what's going on there. This is a bit strange, isn't it? So I don't know that I've ever, genuinely, that I've ever seen like some like good lead in, and then the ones either side are quite low, and then like that's weird. Loads of people going here, but then there's a chunk of people going all time. Very weird. I think this is definitely there. Some people might have it there. I would just go into here. I think there was enough here to stop this from being a bad show. I wouldn't say this was bad, because I can find at least 5 things that I enjoyed. But, yeah, where there wasn't really much in the way of wow moments. So, yeah, for me, good, okay. So this thing at the moment is coming out as good 93%. Because that's the one that's winning, and then you just add all the scores above. So good 93% is where we're looking at the moment, which is down on last week, which actually had a great rating last week. NXT did. SmackDown struggled. SmackDown struggled on Friday. So we're on a run of 2 bad shows here. SmackDown on Friday was good 95%. And so far, this is coming out as good 93%. So they're about the same, to be honest. This is about in line with the SmackDown that we had. But obviously, still many more votes to go. So we'll see how that shakes out. But there we go. That was our Raw Review and Opinions video. We did go for quite a while there, but we had 90-odd responses, and I wanted to get through as many as we possibly could. A lot of very similar themes and a lot of similar thoughts. But that is how the community responded to it. So thank you for that feedback. Really do appreciate it. If you didn't enjoy it, hopefully the next show will be better. If you did enjoy it, hopefully the next show will be even better. And on we go on this road to WrestleMania. So I will see you later for NXT. And then, of course, we'll be back here with our reviews and opinions. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.